Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sam Joseph, as always, and today we're lucky to have comedian Ogi returning to the podcast. It's our first return guest. Ogi, how's it going?
It's good. I'm glad we left out the part where I said I was going to commit an act of domestic terrorism for the
Well, I think you've now re-added that. So for the NSA people listening, we do really appreciate you protecting our freedoms. Yeah, nobody really listens to this apart from the NSA folks. So you got to do something for them occasionally
yeah.
to spice up their evening,
I'm already
because
on the watch list, you know.
who can say? I mean,
No,
it's
no,
interesting.
I
Go on.
I
Oh,
thought
you
I
know you're
thought
on the watch list.
no, yeah, I like there's a period where you remember when Afghanistan kind of fell apart?
I mean, I don't follow the news anymore, but yes,
No,
that
but
was
like
that
years
was
ago when that happened.
yeah, like this is 2 or 3 ago, but I think it's just on the cusp of when I stopped following any mass
Oh
media
yeah.
news. But yes, I do remember like sort of the US and the UK withdrew ignominiously, and like the Taliban took
Yeah.
back over, didn't they? And
Yeah.
basically 20 years of blood, sweat, and tears seemed to be for nothing. You mean that
Pretty much.
Afghanistan? Yes.
Yeah. Turns out they were like all on Twitter during that point. So I pretended to be a journalist and
Okay.
I just started messing with all of them.
When you say all of them, you mean all of the Taliban or all of the UK and
Yeah,
US?
yeah.
Oh,
No, no, just Taliban. And
okay.
yeah, I pretended to be this guy. Just started
Uh-huh.
talking to him on like WhatsApp. Asked him
Okay.
like just wasting their time, being like, I'm a journalist, I want to get your side of the story. And they'd be like,
Okay.
nice. And then I'd be like, what do you think of Drake? You know, is Daffy Duck haram? And then
Right.
I had to stop because my girlfriend got really mad at me.
Okay, interesting, interesting. So this was kind of like a sort of an international incident prank that you were working on there.
Yeah. I got to resolve the conflict.
Right. Indeed. I mean, I'm sure. I imagine it helped. I mean, basically, the perhaps that was the cover that was provided to allow the UK and US soldiers to withdraw because the Taliban were just that was why the people got out. It was down to you because you held up all the Taliban on the social media.
I did.
Yeah, there you go. Well, a genuine hero on the podcast. I was just going to make a comparison. You were sort of saying you were talking about lists. Strangely, last week's guest, Dr. Helen, was talking about don't search for mind-altering substances on Google, or you might get on some kind of list. I mean, I guess it's a staple, isn't it, of sort of like Cold War spy novels and this other the lists and the communists are on the lists and who's the list. I mean, I presume there are lists. It feels like now these days, basically we're making the lists ourselves. We've added ourselves to those particular groups on Facebook, and the poor NSA folks. I mean, they're like, oh gosh, people are sharing everything already. They don't actually have to do any. There's no spy work left, is there? Because everybody's turned their lives inside out, haven't they?
Yeah, that's true, man. The NSA kind of weird, you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I kind of say NSA in that it's sort of a staple joke of mine. I mean, I'm not sure if it would make more sense to say GCHQ or FBI, or I guess the NSA is an American organization, and so I've sort of picked that up from watching films about that. Is it a National Security Association?
Yeah, they used to tap underwater cables to like spy on the
Right,
Russia during the Cold War and stuff.
right, right.
And
Yes,
then
and
their own citizens after a while, but it's all cool.
you said they were saying there are certain sorts of citizens after a while. Sorry, my
No,
hearing.
they were like spying on their own citizens
There
after a
was
while.
right. Yes. And I
Yes.
think, yeah. It's interesting because you asked the question how many alien civilizations are listening to this conversation, and of course the answer is as many as want to be. I guess how many intelligence organizations are listening, as many as want to be. It would probably double our viewing figures really if we could get a couple of
Yeah.
intelligence organizations really addicted to the show. That would be a great one. Yeah, good stuff. Well, yeah, I mean it's been a couple of years, and we haven't really seen each other. I guess we've both been doing our own gigs in our own respective parts of the world. That's
Yeah.
about the size of it?
I was like unemployed for a while, so I just couldn't, London tickets are like 30 quid, so I was just not on the budget.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because yeah, totally.
I tried a bunch of different things. I wrote a pilot for a TV show.
Oh, did you?
That's being filmed in a few months. Looking
No
forward to
way.
it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
are you at liberty to tell us the name of the TV pilot?
I don't know what the show is called, but
Okay.
that's something to figure out. But it's done. The script's done. It should be good.
Oh wow.
Hell,
But so sorry. So this is you were writing on this script, or this is you wrote
yeah.
the whole script?
I wrote the whole script,
Oh wow.
and
Cool.
yeah, I
Cool.
did it because I realized I'm like I'm broke. You know
Uh-huh.
what hobbies do I have now?
Right,
And I
right.
was like, I realized because there's a university around here, and the university students, they'll act for free for experience. They'll let
Okay.
any board with a script, tell them what to do. So
Right.
I wrote something, and I've already cast a bunch of parts in it. It's
Wow.
should be.
That
I'm starring in it. I never acted before, but it doesn't look that
wow.
hard.
That's amazing. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I have many questions. One is that I think when we last spoke, weren't we you were actually a student when we last spoke. Is that right?
Yeah, I
Right.
was.
Right. So I guess when you say you had well, my brain, you had a flow of where's my vocabulary module crashed? I mean, you probably just said the word. You had a sprig, a period. You had a something anyway. You had a period of unemployment, and what you mean is you graduated.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. I mean, it's like obviously you did a degree in marketing because that, the way you presented it there makes it sound like, yeah, my career is on fire. But that's amazing. To TV pilot, yet students acting for free, and but you don't. So you wrote the whole thing, but you're not sure what it's actually going to be called when it gets released. And you haven't titled it yourself. You don't have a working title for what it's about.
It's saved on my computer as Untitled Script Pilot.
Okay, catchy name,
We got the
untitled.
episode. We got the episode name.
Okay, okay,
That's
fantastic.
it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you want to share anything, or can you share anything? You may be under like heavy legal contract about what is it about? Is it
It's
worth sharing?
inspired off of. So basically, there's a university in my crappy town,
Uh-huh.
and my thought was, why would you go here out of all the universities available? You're in this awful town.
Right.
And then I know the students, I'm friends with them. So I got an inside scoop on like a lot of stuff. And it's
Uh-huh.
based on my experiences as well. Because for some reason, my dormitory, they put me in a flat with four women. I was
Okay.
like the one guy there. And so
Mm.
funny stuff happened during that
Okay.
period. So it's really based on my life. But
Right.
I play a cartoon version of myself.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And any room for a sort of older, distinguished senior individual, like a sort of university professor?
Actually, yes, there is. That's the one of the few parts that have not been cast.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see if we can find somebody who has previously been a university professor and has an acting background and is incredibly funny. So where we'll
Mhm.
find such a person, I have no idea.
It
But
would help if they were a computer science professor as well.
well, they're thin on the ground. These folks. Yeah,
There
yeah.
you
Well,
go.
it's interesting that you mentioned TV pilot because just the other morning I woke up at 5:30 and had an idea for my own TV pilots, also based on my life, and I guess that's uh, I guess it's a thing. It's a what's the word? A career hazard. What do they call it? Why my vocabulary has gone, but like it's a career hazard. I feel there's a much more flowing, regular phrase that means career hazard. It's like a hazard of our career of being comedians that we end up writing TV pilots. Is that maybe what it is?
It's an occupational hazard.
Occupational hazard. There you go. Career hazard. Occupational hazard. This is why you finished your TV pilot and I haven't. You've got those. You've got those things down. Yes. Occupational hazard. Yes. Fantastic. Wow. Well, I'm really excited. TV pilots. Did you just knock that out? It was like bam, 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 bing, bam. It sort of wrote itself, or was it blood, sweat, and tears to get it together?
Ooh, I'm quite lazy. So it was over the course of a year. I had no work. So every like few weeks I'd pick it up. And gradually it started working out.
Hmm.
So it's done now. But I might go through it one more time. We'll see.
Sure. Yeah.
But I wrote it with my best friend. I say I wrote it with. He started writing with me, but he's like lazy to me, so he just
Okay.
stopped turning up the writing sessions, and I just had to write it myself.
Right.
Every month or two, I send him like the copy of the script, like just look that for me, because
Okay.
he's like his character inspired by him, and they would have misconstrued it. Which yeah, just read that. Is that all right? He's like, yeah, sounds good. Maybe change that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So you got that together, and so you're saying it's like it's in the process of being. It's like somebody is filming it, like some like organization. Were you saying or?
No organization, just I know a bunch of film students that get access to the university equipment, so I'm just going to pretend to do that. Just be like, "Oh, it's for their project, well, it's for mine," but they don't have to know that.
Got you, got you. Well, interesting that you say that because so I've been since we last spoke. I don't know if we'd started it then. I've been running Sunset Comedy in Harrow, which is Harrow's premium. open mic every Tuesday, and I keep on, emceeing it and having interactions with people in the audience, and like, you know, they turn out to be, film students or people running businesses, and we kind of like we banter and talk about doing some sort of like collaboration. Um, and I may now have a sort of running joke about how we start all these collaborations like bantering, and then none of them come to anything. The it just Most recently there's this, groups of film students from our local university who keep on coming, and they were like, yeah, yeah. I was like, God, do you want to do like a documentary, about a aging, struggling comedian and his, the club that he started in his hometown? And they were like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And it's the furthest of the potential non-collaborations that's happened so far, but it's again, just the legs are falling out. I'm not making the progress. I don't have the inside scoop on the film labs, but yeah, that's, we're desperately searching for people who are willing to make documentaries about struggling comedians. Yeah, cool.
I
Well,
was
that's awesome. But you're also running your own night, aren't you?
uh I will be up again running soon.
Okay,
It's
cool.
it's not because I want to do it. It's because the pub asked, and it's my regular pub. So
Right.
I said, give me free beer on the weekends, so I don't have to pay
Okay.
to drink anymore. And they were like,
Right.
yes. So this is just a ploy for me to save money
Okay.
and get wasted on the weekends.
Indeed. Well, it's not usually what most comedians achieve through any of their activities. Oh, some small percentage obviously become quite wealthy for somehow. There's some magic that they perform. But right, but there was is that the continuation of the nights that you had previously, or this is a new one in the new pub?
This is a continuation, but we're changing the name.
Ah, okay. What was what's the before and after? Tell me the before name and the after name.
Uh, it was a comedy at the station
Right,
before,
originally.
and now it's called Rat Pack Comedy.
Ah, okay. Rat Pack comedy. Good stuff. And remind me, which part of the neck of the woods uh are you and your comedy in?
Oh, outside London, like 40 minutes outside. I don't want
Right.
to say exactly where I live after talking about how the Taliban, I was messing with them.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a big area, they could probably
Right.
find
You
me.
think the NSA are not going to be able to find you based upon your voice code? I mean, they're probably already bugging your house. I mean,
I
it's
know, I'm scared about
yeah.
the Taliban.
Oh, you're worried about the Okay, yeah. I mean, the
Yeah, they
Taliban
certainly
NSA.
don't scare me. The
Okay,
Taliban,
you're worried
they
about the
cut
Taliban.
people's
Okay,
heads off with
fair
stuff,
enough.
man.
Fair enough. Yes, yes. Witness protection program. Okay, cool. Right, rock and roll. Good stuff. Well, I would, I'm just starting to get out a bit more. I mean, I've been doing a lot of the virtual reality comedy, which is great fun. But there is something, it's still not as good as, excuse me, live gigs. And it's only a short 2 and a bit years before my kids leave home, and I'll be able to get out more. So I'll look forward to performing, yeah, at your place. Maybe some Taliban comedy will be in order.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that was the
But
alternative name.
yes, indeed. So, goodness me. But so it's great to see you again. What I was always struck by, I think when I used to see you in London was, your sort of high school shooter comedy. You were able to go
Oh
in for a
yeah.
real dark one there. Reminds me of, well, one of the things I have to do as part of the virtual reality comedy. The virtual reality comedy, there's no reliable way of excluding kids. And we want to do like 18 plus comedy, and so one of the mechanisms is basically we have like a sort of a gun that you can shoot at people, and it basically zaps them out of the existence of the virtual reality world that we're in. But still, some of the kids, keep coming back, and basically, quite often as the MC in the virtual reality club, I have to go around zapping them with this gun, and like just basically chasing them through the venue and then shooting them. And as I say to the audience, I've never felt so American. Boom, boom, boom. So that, yeah, it's like, yeah. Is your comedy still of the darker side? Would you say?
uh, I got this new bit about putting things on my ex girlfriend's butt. It's not as dark. It's just it's still weird and
Okay.
out there, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
and
uh,
go on.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a good bit. I haven't tried it out. We tried it out Tuesday.
Good
See
stuff.
how that
And
goes.
yeah, yeah. And is every Tuesday night that's your Rat Pack comedy in
Nah,
this the
that
unnamed location that only
not
people
not
on
started yet.
not
Not
started yet.
started yet.
Oh,
In
it's going to
a
start
month
it's
or
going to start
two.
this Tuesday, is it?
No, no, that's I'm going to Lions Den on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, well, I do remember from our previous episode you saying about
Yeah.
how much you enjoyed Lions Den, which is in London. So I guess you are still occasionally getting into London, but not as frequently as you'd
Yeah.
like.
When I'm working, it's a bit easier. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
right. Okay,
So
you've
I'm
actually go on.
kind of back, but I like comedy, but I don't like traveling like for like
No,
4 hours a day after work.
no,
So
absolutely.
that sucks.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, where the VR, no, and that really for me, the miracle of the last 2 years is doing the VR comedy where there's no traveling at all, and I
yeah,
can do like a half-hour set most nights, and not have to travel anywhere.
yeah. Do you find it helps with your material? Like you can like find some solid threads, like you know.
I think so. I mean I think although I partly worry that like performing a lot where effectively the audience is wearing face masks is kind of what the the and not just like a COVID face mask, but like it's almost like I'm there and some of the VR headsets have got like cameras that sort of translate the expressions on the people's faces onto their VR avatars, so you get but the majority of them not. But for in terms of creating a space to say lots of material and see if it gets anything at all, it's been extraordinary from that. I've tried out huge amounts of different material, and I think I'm going to be doing some pro gigs coming up which take are informed by the best bits from the last year of VR comedy stuff that I mean, and I don't know, like I think I really prefer just getting on stage and talking and seeing what comes out rather than spending hours looking at a piece of paper or wrestling with a laptop to try and craft the perfect comedy, what have you. It's so much more fun for me, if not for the audience, to be just sort of making it up on stage.
Yeah,
So yeah, it gives me lots of room to experiment.
that's good. And this yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
Very
and
convenient.
it is very convenient, and yeah, so the thing that's changed in the last year is that you can now do it on your phone, and we've had a good half a dozen different UK comedians come in on their phone and just do it, and then we've also got like a lone headset that we can lend to people for the full kind of even more experience. I mean, the phone. You're kind of yeah, it's not completely immersive. You're obviously holding the phone, but people have managed to be very funny on their phone and get laughs.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah, we'll have to get you on the show. And if you are occasionally in London with your new job powered travel ability, you could put on
Yeah.
the headset. But yeah, nice one. Cool. Well, but shall we remind people who didn't listen to the previous episode of your comedy origin story? I sort of assume we discussed that in the last episode, but I didn't bother doing any research. And yeah, did we talk about how you got into comedy last time? Maybe we didn't.
I think we did. It's pretty boring. I was just like, what do I do? You know?
Yeah, with your
I was
life.
16. I was like, what do I do? I don't want to work in an office. I got to do something cool.
Right. Well,
Then,
well, go on.
then I saw Bill Burr do some stand up, and because I thought I was going to be an actor originally, and I was
Hmm.
in a lot of plays and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So not really a lot of. I was like what like primary school productions. They always give me like the lead role or something, you
Oh
know.
wow.
So eventually, I just didn't like memorizing their lines.
No.
Then I saw like Bill Burr do some stuff. I saw
Mm.
him on Conan,
Yeah.
and he was doing some interview. And I was like, "Oh, this guy's hilarious. What is this guy? Is he like
Mm.
a movie actor?" And then it's like, "Oh,
Right.
stand up comedian. Let me see some of this." And I was like, "Oh, this is great." And I watched a bunch of his comedy, and I was like, "I think I want to do this and try this."
Mm.
Before that, I really liked Russell Howard's Good News,
Mm-hmm.
but I was still kind of wanted to be an actor then because I was not cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. No. Well, Bill Burr is fantastic. I mean, I sort of don't know if I've seen so much of his stuff. I'm going to listen to one of his albums, but the Pete Holmes, whose podcast inspires me. I think they're friends, and they talk a lot about. The Pete Holmes talks about Bill Burr, the kind of personality. He's like in the green room. He's just like these guys, these plumbers. They're the shit. And then, but the way he's talking, that it just translates, exactly to how he talks on the stage. And actually, there was even he might have been on one of the podcasts and talking about how you can come up with new comedy every day. And so the thing I do on virtual reality, which is my comedy booby trap, where I basically take 5 thoughts from my day and I try and spin them into comedy gold, is sort of informed by Bill Burr's, I mean, like it's the same sort of thing. It's basically look. if you delve into anything that's happened daily, you could be coming up with some new thing. It's not necessarily going to be the, and probably isn't, particularly in my case, be the most hysterical, funny thing in the universe, but you can kind of make an event out of that. It's yeah, yeah, good stuff. And I always remember from the last time you were on the podcast your humility, and that you were saying, first I'm going to get good. I think, unlike myself, and I did a lot of acting when I was younger, and even older when I started comedy, there's always a part of my mind saying, yes, I'm going to be amazing immediately, and and be world dominating immediately, and that has not happened through a variety of different fields. But yeah, you were saying 2 years ago, it's going to take, I'm going to spend 5 years, get good. There was a sort of realism and a humility about your approach, which I recall. Is it still the case? Are you on that pathway to getting good? How you feel it's going?
I feel like I'm getting worse.
Okay.
You know, well, we'll see. It's because obviously I took some time off stand up, so starting back up again, you're kind of a newbie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, yes. You had a break. Yeah. I mean, I hope, I'd like to think I was getting better. I mean, partly this thing with the virtual reality allows me to do it pretty much every day. I don't know that I am any, like, I mean, I've now done like over 160, no, probably up to over 200 virtual reality gigs. I don't know if it's got any better. Yeah. But then certainly I do like doing some I had also spent in that period, I'd almost done no kind of polished gigs, in that all the live work that I was doing was all emceeing. So I hadn't done that many live kind of polished sets. And I'm definitely kind of coming back to that and feeling like, okay. And I'm sort of in the run up for some of these pro gigs now. I've been doing more of those and trying to getting back into a comfort zone. But yeah, I think they sort of classically say, I mean, or at least it's said by Pete Holmes about Nanjal Kumali, I've forgotten his name now, who's his friend, always says, like, stand up, it's the one thing you don't do it for 2 weeks and suddenly you feel like you've forgotten how to do it.
Yep, pretty much. I'm trying to get back on my. I started with a bit of motivation because it's expensive and it's very
Mm.
far away. So
Mm.
just like trying to get back on your footsteps. You know what I mean? Kind of
Sure.
discouraged, but I've kind of overcome that now a bit. We're doing some pro gigs,
Great.
opening for I got some bands I'm opening for because I'm
Wonderful.
pretty big into like the art scene here.
Yes.
I don't really do anything, but they
Yeah.
know I do it, so they're cool with me. So I'm
Uh-huh.
opening for a few bands around here.
Nice. Good
Got the
stuff.
comedy night going. There's a pro night I occasionally do here.
Hmm.
I'm surprised I ended up getting that because some guy dropped that out just in the building watching for free
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I was a comic, so hey, let's check it. This get me in the right headspace. And they were like, "Ogie, could you do a set?" I was like, "Yes, I could try."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened was I was informed that all my beer was free now at this craft beer place.
Wow.
So yeah, like £9 a pint. I'm a sample everything,
There we go.
and
There.
I got obliterated, Sam. I was
Uh,
obliterated before I went on. I was waiting for the guy to like move off, so it was my turn. I'm looking at him, and his face is just it's like Slender Man. It's just pale and white with no distinguishing features. And
oh
I'm like,
no.
well, here goes nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Don't,
And
don't
and
remember.
how did that nothing go?
I don't remember much of it, but they were like, "Yeah, you were really funny. We'll have you back again sometime." I was just really good. My friend, he was there. He's like, "That was good. Everyone could tell you were fucked up, but like, I think it added to it." And I was like, "Oh, great. That's awesome."
There we go. Well, it all comes together. I love it when a
I wrote
plan comes
new
together.
jokes as well. I have new jokes from that set.
There you go. Just writing on stage. Oh, great stuff. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, this is. I mean, of course, it reminds me of why, starting comedy. I realized I would need to give up the beer because if I carried on drinking while I was doing comedy, I would clearly end up dead. But then you're younger than me, so you've got more rope to hang yourself with or something. Maybe that's the wrong analogy,
Yep.
but yeah, yeah. Oh, rock and roll. Yeah, we'll have to get dates and locations if you're not too worried about the Taliban tracking you down in the show notes for your upcoming stuff. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you managed to get your day job to be in the creative arts, or is that just a complete money hustle?
I work with servers now.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Servers. You work
Servers. Yeah,
servers.
the computer servers.
Oh, computer servers. Oh, you're in the
Yeah,
tech zone.
I'm in
Yes.
tech now.
Right. Well, like me, I'm an AI engineer. I lead
Oh
an AI
wow,
engineering team. It's
that's
yes,
awesome.
tech stuff. It's well, there's one of the few jobs left after the AI is going to take everything. So
Yeah,
I feel like that's the sweet spot. Basically, you stay servicing the AIs. Eventually, they'll be the last group of humans that the AIs keep around before they wipe everybody else out. Yeah, yeah.
I do a lot of hardware stuff, so I'm kind of future proof as well.
Right.
So
There you
build,
go.
program it Ubuntu. This the servers.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, that segues nicely, comedy origin story into how technology is affecting your life. It sounds like technology is allowing you to earn enough money to get to gigs in London.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. It's good. You know, it's decent money. A lot of times the offices won't be busy, so I'm watching YouTube for 4 hours a day. Because the
Right.
profit margins are so huge, they can afford to have us do nothing for days on end.
Oh,
So this
really?
is this is a great job. I'm very much enjoying my
Okay.
job at the tech center.
That's great, and for you, and maybe for everybody involved. And is that because I was always going to ask about what you were studying at university? Was it were you studying tech stuff?
Yeah,
Uh,
computer science.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So yeah. Well, I mean, both you and I both we both parlayed that, and there are a few comics out there. I've met a few who do software or do on the tech side. I'd say they're not in the majority. I would say there's like maybe like 2 to 3% of the comedians I meet are in that side of the world. Is that about the size of it for you? Do you meet any others?
Yeah, I don't find any tech people in comedy either.
Yeah, it's more on the rare side. Yeah, and so yeah, is the technology, I guess, apart from supplying time to watch YouTube and money, is it this is the question we ask on the podcast: how is technology affecting your comedy, your life at all, or is it just all there in the background?
Uh, I mean, I have like a Google Drive. I got all my jokes in,
Mm,
folded, dated, sort of by subject. So it helps by organization, I guess.
mm.
What else is? How else does it affect me? Recording your sets, listening to music instead of going through your notes on the train right there.
Right.
That's probably one of the worst ways it impacts me. But yeah, it's all right.
You're saying the worst way is that like what you're thinking when you should be going through your notes, you kind of like sort of zone out, just listening to music instead.
Yeah. Well, try and do both, and then they're taking splits, so you're not memorizing anything.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, it's interesting you said that. I mean, there was a period. I mean, I've sort of stopped now because I have given up on memorizing things. But when I used to be practicing my sets on the train, I would play these binaural focus beats,
Oh
which
wow.
I found to be quite, I could be having that and kind of be practicing at the same time. I mean, that was actually suggested on Stuart Goldsmith's Comedian podcast. Yeah, and now, yeah, that's the thing. I've really gone to a place where I don't really practice the sets anymore, and I just kind of do them, and I don't. Yeah, yeah. But I'm interested to hear that you've got the Google Drive, and so you sort of like you've got like a number of Google documents with like different jokes on different topics in different organized in sort of different documents. Is that right?
Yep,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know if
how
you've
we
tried.
do it.
Yeah, and also I've got see for me I tend to have one big on endless ongoing notes that are just like comedy 7, comedy 8, and once I've filled multiple hundred pages of like random notes from each day, I just move on to the next one, and it comes comedy 9 because the document gets so large that it like takes too long to load. But I've started pulling my jokes into the Notion software, and I've got them in a sort of little spreadsheet in Notion, and I can sort of sort
Oh,
them
nice.
by different things. A few people, Simon Josh, we had on the podcast a few weeks back, is a fan of that approach. I had to do like a completely clean set
Mhm.
for one of these, like available to kids and stuff, virtual reality things, and I just sorted my jokes, on the column I have saying how clean they are, and pulled out a set, and I did my first ever clean set. So that was
Oh
that was
wow.
that was an interesting alternative experience. Yeah, yeah. But and so, how is your comedy writing up process kind of going? You're saying they're like, get absolutely blotted, get on the stage. And like, I guess, did you manage to like, you say you have no memory? Did you record that set when you were kind of like completely under the influence?
No, I did not, and I wish I did because there's some stuff that I wrote that I no one remembers. But they were like, there was a joke about this, and it did very well. That's like
Okay.
one of the best ones. I was like, ah, no. But no, I usually write. I write sober all the time, really.
Oh yeah.
But that was just a unique situation because there was free beer, and
Right.
the beer was very expensive, and
Indeed.
I overestimated how much beer I could sample before
Well,
going
indeed.
on.
I mean, it is an interesting difference. Like, so, when I was, a student in the 1990s, early 1990s, the beer was, by comparison with now, extraordinarily cheap, and we didn't have cell phones. And realistically, the alcohol was our entertainment mechanism, really, for a lot of us. And it's just very different. My own son now at university, and he goes out and just does. The drinks are so expensive that he, by virtue of the amount of money involved, is, I mean, leading a far more sensible lifestyle
Oh
compared
yeah.
to myself. But yeah, it is, alcohol has become extraordinarily expensive. It's completely changed. And actually, we've all got these devices now which provide entertainment in ways that weren't available in the 90s. But yeah, so but when you say you write sober, you are like kind of actively thinking. I mean, I guess when you have a break in the YouTube because of the, at work, you're writing things down, like in the Google Doc on your phone, because you've had a thought, you've had an idea about some sort of possible joke. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't do the work though. I just memorize it and store it in the bank before no one sees me writing in my phone because I'm scared someone will look over and be like, "What are you doing there?" And
Oh,
then
okay,
it's like, it's a joke about putting things in my girlfriend's butt, and they're like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, you freak?" And I'm like, no, you know.
okay. So you're carefully not doing that work. Although I
I'm
think
carefully hiding.
right,
It's
right.
like Batman. If Batman was not Batman.
Right. Yes, you're keeping you got your secret identity. Of course, I don't
Yes.
know if the Sarah Millican, a famous comedian who's appeared on many podcasts, talks about how, her day job, what she would do, um, is kind of get in early. This is, I think, after her divorce. She would get in early and spend, an hour or two, right, and she sort of had an agreement with with her, the people who were employing her, to say that she could come in early and basically use the computer to just write comedy every
Oh,
morning.
wow.
I think it's often done that way. But then, obviously you have some free time outside of work, and you make time, to sort of write down ideas and develop. And do you find yourself developing? This is the thing that I kind of am almost finding myself a little bit allergic to, is spending time by myself with a joke on paper and trying to manipulate it into a better joke on paper. I find that, to be, I don't know, how do you feel about that?
So I'll write it down, and sometimes you get it in one go. Sometimes it takes a few days.
Hmm.
But I often find as soon as you say it on stage, you go on stage and you say it, immediately have more clarity about the joke.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you think this joke's gonna hit, and then you're about to say it, and you're like, "This is not gonna work," and you do it,
Uh-huh.
and it does not work.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just a matter of having some ideas down, risking looking like a sociopath, and just doing it again.
Sure. Sure. Yes. Yes. And then I mean, that's what I do now nightly, is with the comedy movie trap, is just take ideas and talk around them, and just try and find somewhere. But that and I guess that's a luxury for the majority of up and coming comedians, that they don't have that much stage time, and so it makes sense to be spending perhaps more time, getting jotting a few notes down and knocking things around. Um, yeah. I mean, have you read Adam Bloom's book on comedy? Came out a year or two ago, and people get excited about the way he talks about developing jokes. Are you familiar with his work?
Nope.
No, well, I mean, I was sort of struck. So he has one of his, there's many chapters on many different interesting things about developing comedy, and one of them, he talks about taking kind of a premise and then going through like a series of, manipulations to kind of punch up the joke. I think it's example. It was something about having to buy cigarettes at a petrol station or something. The details, I forget. And it sort of it all kind of makes sense. But it's to me, it's a very it's what's the word? It's almost like a very sort of sterile, logical approach to it. I mean, not that it doesn't bear results, and I think he's a very funny guy and does very well. But it's they often talk about with comedians. There are people who are the writers who are reluctant performers, and there are the performers who are the reluctant writers. And I definitely feel like I'm in the performer camp. And I spent my day job with AI is all about you got to write it down, you got to write it down, and you got to change it and make it better. And like that's all I'm doing with computer code all the time. And then when I get into my comedy, I just want to be free from all of that, homework.
Yeah, I get that. Sorry about the finger thing. I was just making sure the right webcam was showing.
No worries, dude. I
I
mean,
have two
it's all.
webcams.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this, for those people listening who can't see, you've got like a very, underground ground guerrilla radio kind of thing. You're in this sort of darkened room. It's like you're almost wearing a balaclava, kind of like I'm broadcasting from a secret location here, so the Taliban can't find me. Yeah, I mean, it's looking very atmospheric.
It's just my room, you know.
I, I mean, I can't. I guess so. I mean, the lighting is dark.
It's
It's lit in interesting ways. I mean, for those people who
yeah.
can't see. I mean, I'm in a sort of in a brightly lit study, with plants and things, and just I can. I don't know. It's my. I thought it was exposed brickwork, but no, it's you've got a poster, you've got cushions. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool, groovy pad that you're in there. Yeah, it's
I haven't changed since I was 15. I'm such a guy about things where it's
right.
I just need this for sleeping. I haven't decorated my room in 8 years. I don't even
Yeah.
like Marvel movies. These are Marvel posters. I don't like this stuff anymore.
Do you not? Oh, okay.
Eh, they're okay. I don't like them as much
Yeah.
as I did. I wouldn't have posters on enough right now. And then
Yeah.
it's weird because I'll have like a girlfriend or something over,
Uh
and
huh.
they'll be like, "Oh wow, you into this nerdy stuff?" And I'll be like, "Not really." And she's like, "Why is it up?" It's like because I gotta take it down. Then they
Yeah.
find something else to
Well,
put up.
I think I mean it's interesting. I'm in a similar boat in some ways in that I do tend to put things up and then they stay up for you will actually the one behind me you can stuff I've got up is this is actually relatively recent. I've got stuff from the Covent Garden comedy cellar, but then I've got over here I've got this is actually a poster done in collaboration with my father before he died as a technical poster on sort of a scientific thing. Gosh, and that must be from like 15 years ago. But I look around and I've got stuff for when my kids. I've got at least one piece of stuff which is from when my kids were little. I mean, it is like I put stuff up and then who wants to change it? I mean, some people are like really. They're really into it, aren't they? They're really into like saying, right, it's going to be, what is it? Spring cleaning, change, do a new set of stuff. I like to like, I just sort of maybe put some stuff up and then forget about it. Uh,
Yeah, Sam. That's just literally me.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I think people are getting crazier.
You think what
I
generally,
think
or
yeah, I
just
think
you
people are
and me?
just no, people are just. I was at the pub yesterday, right? I was
Okay.
just drinking till 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
And then me and my friend, we get out because we're like, enough's enough now. But really, the pub was closing.
Okay.
So we're outside. I'm going to get like an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy with long hair and a straggly beard just pulls up to us on a BMX bike.
Mm.
And immediately we're like, oh, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asks if the place is still open. We're like, well, it's just they just kicked us out.
Uh-huh.
What kind of music they play? My friend says, it's a variety of music, really.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, "Oh, can I have a cigarette with one of you too?"
Uh-huh.
And we were like, "Oh, we don't smoke, but we do. We just didn't want to give him
No,
one."
I can relate to that. Yeah.
So he just went, "For fuck's sake, no one in this country fucking shares. In my country, everyone fucking shares." Did a Yui on his bike, just rode away really furiously,
Mm.
jumped off his bike, picked it up, threw it against the wall across the street, started kicking it. And me and
Uh-huh.
my friend, we have like no common sense. We're like, let's just keep watching this. This is it. We do a couple like what was it like take? We were just like, oh, oh. And then he picked up the bike over his head and ran down the street.
Right. Wow, remarkable. I mean, one start to think maybe perhaps it was not his bike and it was somebody else's bike that he had somehow acquired since he wasn't
Yeah,
but or he may have been, like just working through some anger. Indeed,
yeah.
indeed. Strange people.
Yeah, there's a big crack problem where I live. Big crack and
Yeah,
heroin problem.
right. Yes, well, there's definitely that. When you said the crack problem, all these crackers, all these white people, good lord,
Yeah,
these
man.
these are the ones who are creating the problems. But yeah, that's we start talking about people, which is of course our third topic for the podcast is people and relationships, and which are the ones that are most important to you. I'm struck by you say that that room that you're in hasn't changed since you're 15. Is that your your room that you grew up in, so to speak?
Yeah, yeah. I remember, man. Like, that post was up when I got my first blowjob. You know what I mean? It's got like
Okay.
sentimental value and stuff.
Fantastic. Yes, I was leaning close, not to inspect for the evidence of the blowjob, but the which is that Guardians of the Galaxy? Which
Oh,
one?
that's Infinity War.
Oh, is it? I can't quite. It's all
Yeah.
a bit dark. Infinity War. Yeah. Well,
One of them is actually signed by Sebastian Stan, who
oh
won
wow,
nostalgia. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean the whole. I mean I mean, I just watched the rest of Deadpool and Wolverine last night, which was quite enjoyable. But yeah, the thing has become like I don't know. They did do a beautiful thing, I think, with the Avengers, the kind of Infinity War saga. But does feel like it's a little bit like it might have jumped the shark now. But I think no judgment on this room that I'm in also happens to be the room that I grew up in, or at least this is
Oh
actually
wow.
the room that I first so I mean, I now live in my parents' house. My parents have passed on, God bless. And but this room is the first room that I have a memory of. So this was the room that was my room when I was between the ages of something like I don't know, it would have been 2 and 5 maybe, and
Oh
then
wow.
like after that I was in other rooms in this house, and then was lived university abroad, but ultimately came back to this house, and this is the box room at the front of the house, which I turned into my office. But it's just yeah, I mean it's sort of a I've been around the world and come back to, so it's almost like I'm hunkered down in the place that I have my first ever memory of is where I'm doing all this stuff from, which is kind of
That's sweet, bro. That's awesome.
it's interesting. Yeah, nice little story. But so is this when you say this was this has been your room since as far back as you can remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good show, good show. And I guess like are your parents still alive? Are they in other rooms in this great house that you're in right now?
Ah, yeah. I mean, my dad's kind of like living in Serbia now, but
Okay.
yeah, my mom's still here.
Okay, right, rock and roll. Oh, so you've got a base. So there we are, both of us in our childhood bedrooms, plotting to take over the world. I mean, not that we're plotting to take over the world. I mean, in any, only comedically rather than realistically, because we know where the real power lies. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Sam.
Okay.
Don't blow up Big Ben.
But you've got all the connections with the Taliban, so I mean, it's I
Exactly.
just don't have the reach that you have. Yeah. But yes. So I mean, how is your relationship with your mother? Does she love the comedy? Does she love you
Oh
being?
no, she hates it.
Oh, does she?
Oh, she is like so disappointed, bro.
Oh, really?
I wanted to play the drums initially, right? But they were like, "You can't play drums. That's for idiots," you know.
Okay.
So because they didn't let me play the drums, I do something even more fucking idiotic now.
Right.
It got worse. If they got me that drum set, I'd be
That this is his payback time. But yeah, so what
now
what what would your mother prefer you to be doing?
drums
Oh, she would actually prefer the drums. Well, but
or
relatively
like a piano.
piano or some other like perceived to be more creative thing. It'll be an interesting thing actually because of course the different styles of stuff go through different like I think classical music back in the day was the kind of rock and roll of its day maybe, but like rock and roll. What's striking to me is, so for example, going to my one of my son's schools, they will have now kind of like a rock band, like the students will be have electric guitars, drums or what have you. That music that 50, 60, 70 years ago was the kind of like revolutionary kind of counterculture music is now the kind of it's the mainstream. It's what the people are playing as you're coming in for the sixth form thing. They're doing that, and it's like comedy has been this counterculture thing, but I think it's becoming more mainstream. Jimmy Carr wants to get stand-up comedy taught in schools. I mean, I
That's so
wonder
stupid.
for
That
the
guy's
next
such a
generation.
moron.
The guy, you think Jimmy Carr's a moron, do you?
That guy's an idiot. He's got comedy brain.
He's got
The
comedy
way,
brain.
yeah, it's a tub. It's just
Oh, tell me.
he's so up himself with stand up. I met him once, by
Did
the
you?
way.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him
So
on
you
the
know he's a
tube.
moron.
Yeah, I met him on the tube. and I nearly
Okay.
started running bits by him.
Did you?
But nearly, but I stopped myself because it was a packed carriage, and I felt like, "Hey, Jimmy Carr, I got some stuff for to run by you."
Jimmy Carr on the tube. You would have thought he could have his own private jet like flow.
Back carriage. I took
Okay.
the train. If you wanna find Jimmy Carr, this is how you do it.
Hmm.
So, what's that? What's that place? It's a place in London. Ah,
Buckingham Palace,
no,
House of Lords,
it's a tube station. My
Baker
ex
Street,
lived there. No, it's West London. It begins with C something.
um, Canterbury. Is not a. But
Right
anyway,
now,
a tube station in West London. What line is it on? Metropolitan, Circle Line. Uh,
wait, give me a second. I'm gonna find my Uber receipt. No, I can't. Yeah, I can do that. I can dox Jimmy Carr.
there
No,
we
I
go.
can't. I've lost my phone. Okay, he's
But
lucky. He's lucky
I,
this.
I do have a tube map, which I can look up here. Um, although this one it keeps on doing all
I'm
these other things.
gonna look it up as well. It's
Here we go. So I'm at Chancery Lane, Covent Garden. They're not really west, but what are we looking for? Somewhere in the
uh
west, beginning with a C in West London.
yeah. Okay. Let me see.
Uh, hmm. Chiswick Park. That's a C in West London. Um,
Not Chiswick.
I mean, this is. I think we've reached a new high for podcasting. Trying to
Yeah.
work out.
You want to kill Jimmy Carr?
Wait, I mean, I think you were just saying as a moron. I don't think anybody was threatening Jimmy Carr until just now. You kind of upped the ante there. I mean, I thought his book. Have you read his book on what is it called? I've
Oh
forgotten.
yeah. I thought it was dog shit. I was like, I need some self help because I was depressed, and I was
Really,
like, I was just help
Cannon's Park.
myself.
Okay, yeah,
He's funny.
I quite
He's
enjoyed
funny.
his. What was his book called? I've forgotten what it's called. You didn't like his book.
No, I did not like his book, man.
I mean, it did
He's
feel
a
to
funny
me like
guy.
it was sort of ghost written. It was kind of a sort of assembled collage of things. But I thought there were some interesting stories in there about his life and about well, his expose on like the whole thing with his tax paying or not paying stuff
Yeah.
was kind of interesting. I thought. Where's that?
I'm a fan of that. I like how he did that.
Right, right. Oh, here we go. This is the thing.
Uh,
Oh yeah, Before and Laughter. That's Jimmy Carr's book.
yeah.
I definitely enjoyed parts of it. I think Stuart Lee's How I Escaped My Certain Fate: The Life and Death of a Stand-Up Comedian. Have you read that?
Oh no, I haven't. Is that any good?
I find that very readable actually. I mean, it's also got like transcripts of various sets that he's done, including the one that's all about Jesus and so on. And then it's got his kind of commentary on all of the like. It's got the whole transcript of the entire set, and like hour think show, and then his commentary on all of it. It's really interesting.
Okay, I got a lead. I've opened up my emails. I've typed in Uber. When was I seeing this girl? Yeah.
Maybe Charing Cross. I mean, that's not really West London.
No. It's thrilling. It's probably gonna have to be edited down a bit.
Oh no, we never read it down. Keep it real.
So, we've lost any amount of viewers
No,
in this.
we've lost the listener. I mean, that's probably there was one person, and they've probably gone now. But
Yeah. No,
um,
I gotta find this place now.
okay. Well, I mean, you can always find it later. We can put it in the show
Oh,
notes. I mean,
oh, here we go.
go on.
No, no, that's the wrong receipt.
Okay. Well, I mean, for the purposes of the story, let's say but get to the back of the tube on the District Line at Edgware Road. Is that how we find Jimmy Carr?
Yeah, he's just in the back carriage.
Okay.
He's weird because he's had a lot of plastic surgery done. You know what I
He
mean?
has. He does look quite strange, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
he
So
talks about that in his book. Sorry, go on.
if you see him,
Hmm.
his face is very fresh, but he's got very wrinkly arms.
Right. Right.
It's interesting.
I mean, I think he looked. I mean, I remember the first time I saw him on television, and I just thought, what an interesting face. He's got a very it's sort of surprising. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with the face that he had before. And yeah, I mean, it's Yeah, but I guess so. But you're saying you think he's a moron because you didn't like his book, or you're just not a fan of his comedy?
I like his comedy. I just
Oh,
think
okay.
the entire he talks about stand up like so prestigiously, you know. It
Oh,
should be
okay.
taught in schools. He's just really pretentious.
Hmm.
I think he's very
Hmm.
pretentious
Oh, I mean,
and has a
well, it's interesting.
overinflated self-importance. But that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get that sense from, interesting. I mean, I thought that the kind of like teach the stand up in schools is more that, he feels that like psychologically the comedy has helped him. And when I've
Yeah.
listened to him on, like the podcasts that I've listened to him on, yeah, he seems to. I mean, that's only listening to his comedy. I was a bit kind of like, it's a bit anodyne. Like I'm not learning anything about him through his comedy. It's these sort of one-liners and which is not my preferred type. But listening to him talk on podcasts about the himself and what he's doing, it came across to me as like, with some humility. It's like, where do these ideas come from? I don't know. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm very lucky to be taking advantage of it. Seems like a person who really enjoys comedy and laughing and so on. But but I mean, you think stand-up comedy shouldn't be taught in schools?
No, imagine what kind of lame bits that make you write. You couldn't write anything funny. There would be no curse words. You can. I wouldn't be able to do any of my act. I have to write bits about like bacon and bread. You know, it'd be lame. It'd actually be so lame. It'd be a waste of time
You reckon?
because
Yeah,
you
I don't
can't
know. I
really
mean, I guess,
express yourself. You know what I mean?
but I mean, go on.
It'd be a specific type of stand up that you even teach in the first place. And it'd be some lame jokes. And then
Right.
it'd make you do the stand up and no one will laugh. You know what I mean? Because it's not funny.
Mm.
It's not grounded to their actual thing. You wouldn't have the
Yeah.
freedom to actually write stand up in a school. So
Yeah, I
immediately
get.
it's a
Go on.
boneheaded idea.
You think?
That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bit like saying, well, like you learn how to add up numbers, and then you can't use those adding up skills to sell drugs. I mean, it's like you can, right? Like if you're busy. I mean, like I agree with you that probably the stand up, written in schools would be a bit anodyne and not something that we would get excited about. But at the same time, like the kind of like the underlying principles of pullback and reveal, the rule of three and whatever, you can then use that more generally, for your own nefarious purposes outside of school. I don't know. I mean, I think school's pretty boring. It's going to have to, they have to do work really hard to make it even more boring by adding. Anyway, I mean, who cares? We're kind of coming, moving along. We should probably get onto, as I alluded to, my third
But
topic. Oh,
before we
go on.
move on,
Yes,
uh,
please. Oh, we seem to have lost your audio there. I think the NSA has stepped in and prevented you from revealing the location of Jimmy Carr. I guess it maybe the NSA is in the employ of Jimmy Carr. You just brought yourself back online. Are you still there? Is the Taliban in your area?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What were you trying to say?
Hello, is
Sorry,
that good?
you were muted there briefly. Say again.
I think it's funny if I just don't say it now.
Okay. Well, we've got a
You
huge
know, I think
mystery.
it's just
Stay tuned for it in 2 more years when Ogi will be back with us again, perhaps to reveal the mystery of what the Taliban didn't want him to say. No, what was that?
yeah, it was just I found the tube station and I was like, I
Did
just want
you?
to kill Jimmy Carr, and I said the tube station, it just cut out.
Okay. Well, I think that's I mean, I have to say, any desire to wish any harm on the talented comedian Jimmy Carr, is not the express preference of this podcast. Any preferences expressed by guests on the podcast are their own preferences. But yeah, so let's not reveal where Jimmy Carr is living and save ourselves from an unfortunate legal proceedings. But maybe let's have different legal proceedings based upon our preferences or lack of preferences for drugs. As I was saying, yeah, I mean, I basically still very sober and just relying upon the comedy and adrenaline. You're still enjoying the beer, particularly as it relates to comedy. How are other drugs, legal or illegal, affecting your perception of reality these days?
Oh, they're good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't do it too often. I'm not a big, I'm not a maniac.
No,
I feel like a
no.
lot of people assume I'm a maniac. I'm actually quite level-headed.
Uh, and this is
Uh,
prescription drugs you're talking about. You're like sertraline. I don't know.
nah.
I mean, this is the thing. People often think like the podcast is comedians on technology, people, and drugs. And the drugs, right? That mean it's a bit like UFOs means aliens. No, UFOs means
Oh,
unidentified flying objects. Drugs means
yeah.
these are chemicals. And but so which sorts of chemicals are you most inclined to talk about?
A bit of the puff puff is all right now and again.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my mom's in the house, and
Oh,
I
okay.
if
And
she
she's
hears
high, is
any of
she? And
this,
you don't want to get her paranoid.
no, she would just the video will suddenly she'll appear in frame, and she'll hit me with a belt like
Right.
on camera, and I feel
Okay.
like kind of would ruin the podcast. Me just being beaten by my
or,
mom,
or make it. I mean, these are the kind of incidences that can,
viral.
go viral. Indeed, indeed. Well, and of course, yeah. If you're not feeling, if you're not blink, if you're not feeling safe to talk
Yeah.
about certain topics. But yeah, it's. I mean, and we could move on. But are there? I mean, so interestingly, that last week, Dr. Helen was talking about these things called miracle berries, which basically they're available on eBay and completely legal as far as we know. And you put them in your mouth, and then you have basically for 2 hours, it basically everything that was sour now tastes sweet. So
Interesting.
yeah, there's all sorts of interesting stuff going on. So yeah, this is the last section on perception of reality. I mean, is you're free to talk about the way anything, including any sorts of drug, legal, illegal, prescription, non-prescription, are affecting your reality at the moment. Is alcohol the main one that kind of lubricates your reality these days?
Yeah, I just like going to the pub and just like talking to a few people, having a few beers. I don't really drink alone because I think that's
Mm,
depressing and that's not fun,
right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
can relate to that.
I like going out and just having a few beers at the pub, getting to know people. That's how I got like a bunch of my work,
Right.
just networking or blasting.
Mm,
So
mm. Yeah, but when I'm back in the day, I have to say when I was, in the '90s and in the thousands, I loved nothing more than going to the pub and being sort of drunk and talking to people. It was great.
yes,
That was
yes.
it was the biz, the shiz, the biz. I don't know what it was the bee's knees. That sounds really, but yeah, no, I really used to like that. And what strikes me is how infrequently my eldest son is now at university doesn't really seem to do that quite so much. It's not the part we talked about how expensive the alcohol is. I think there's also just like so much media available on tap. But it's good to hear someone like yourself still getting out there and interacting with humans. You're not like sort of trapped by the siren song of endless unlimited YouTube media at home in the evening because I guess you can watch it at work.
Yeah, it's all right, man. I just do it at work a lot. I listen to a lot of
And unfortunately, we've lost your audio there again. I guess you like something about where you work. It was being cut out. Is that? I guess is that an internet connection issue, or you accidentally muting yourself? I think you're very. See, we're getting a slight sort of hissy noise. The video has slowed down slightly. Yeah,
1 minute. We're back. We're back. It
we're
was a
back. We're
issue.
back.
Oh,
It's coming and going. It's coming and going.
is the
I guess
video is the video gone?
the video is there and is now moving, and I can now sort of hear you. Yeah, it's good. I guess the NSA is just saying
Okay.
this is too radical. There's this discussion of like what kind of drugs, so it's just it's like beyond the pale. We've got to cut this out before it gets out to the masses.
I tried acid.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I went to Amsterdam Music Festival,
Uh-huh.
and I had VIP tickets.
Ooh.
So I was on a stage, and I
Mhm.
I tried to count all the people there.
Right. Okay, that sounds challenging.
That was interesting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I kept getting distracted because I
Uh-huh.
just end up focusing on one person and be like, yo, this guy's so deep. What's his story, man? Like, he probably works. He's here. Look at him busting the move. What's that guy doing? He's also busting the move. Wow. That's just incredible. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, no, they say that, I mean, I'm repeating this for another podcast, but the Pete Holmes one, yeah, that sort of mental state that some of those things can leap you into, mushrooms or acid or what have you, is you're momentarily in the kind of oneness of the universe state that you might be if you spent your lifetime meditating or what have you. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, these days it's all about the meditation. I want to kind of achieve the state through natural means. I find the idea of using the like at least on me because I know I'm a fragile flower. The idea of adjusting my mental states through the more immediate chemical means is yeah. I'm not sure that
They,
it's meant for older people, but there's so many people, as I keep on talking about, who are on prescribed drugs these days. To
yeah.
are you on prescription for anything, or you just self medicate in the stuff that you fancy?
No, I just raw dog life, man. Like I don't have a compulsion to. I don't have a compulsion to drink. I go weeks without, 2 months without drinking
Oh,
occasionally.
good for you.
I like cigarettes though. Cigarettes is the biggest problem for
Okay.
me. Yeah, but yeah, I just I drop like mushrooms every like 2 years
Hmm.
to reset the brain a bit. It helps. Yeah, it's helped me a lot. I've been a way
Oh,
better
really?
place. Yeah, yeah, a lot of anxiety, depression, just whew,
Okay.
gone
Oh, well, that's
instantly. Relieved. It's
gr-
incredible.
great to hear that it works for you. I mean, of course, we always say is that I guess do any of the listeners do be careful. The same drugs may not have the same effect for you.
Yeah,
Please be careful
that is
out there.
true.
I think it all depends on the person. I mean, of course, co-host Joe Vaughan is all about trying to get I think well various things like psilocybin rescheduled so that it can be used in research for
Yeah,
treating depression and anxiety and
it
so on.
should.
Maybe one day we will get there and those things will be available. Um, yeah,
No, no.
research.
You want any prescription medication?
Me, no, no, not at all. No,
No.
no. And I seem to be a bit of an outlier. Almost everybody I know is on something or other.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's sort of it seems like a bit of a weird, the number of people raw dogging life like you and I is perhaps going down. Maybe we're the only two people left in the universe, and the rest are all just figments of their own imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people getting off them right now. A lot of people my age trying to get off them.
Are they? Are they?
Yeah, I have a friend. They upped his dose to like 200 milligrams, and it's
Mhm.
taken him years to come down to that. So
Right.
yeah, that's been quite rough on him.
Mm. Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, no, I mean, I think there's lots of people in the healthcare industry who are really trying to help people in challenging situations. But and I think it's not. I mean, certainly get the impression in America it's even more hippie. What's the word? They're a bit just throwing the drugs around. I mean, I do fear that not that these drugs can't be useful things in the right situation, but that
Of
there is
course.
a big power imbalance in that there are these huge, pharmaceutical giants who've spent lots and lots of money developing these drugs, and they need them to be prescribed so that they
Yeah,
can make the money back on what they've invested in them. It does
very
seem
true.
a bit strange. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's good for you. You're saying that you can have a period of drinking and then not drinking, and
Mhm.
you're not kind of like tied into it as. I mean, I was going to mention this is why I gave up drinking 2.5 years ago. Is that particularly through COVID, I was starting to drink alone and also finding it difficult to break the habit. So I needed a clean to get that
Yeah.
get that sorted out. But you said cigarettes. How many cigarettes do you smoke a day?
Today, none. But
Oh, good
at
for you.
work, half a pack.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
A pub, 2 packs, something like that.
yeah.
I'll
That's
I'll
yeah.
I'll give them out to people as well. So it's not all me, but it's a money
Mm,
thing.
mm.
I smoked like seven yesterday over the
Right.
course of a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
But
I mean, well, I used to. I mean, I was just doing a health check on Friday, and they asked me if I smoked or if I had ever smoked. And for me, not for 25 years. But yeah, that was it. What then? This is back in the day. You could smoke inside the pub and stay nice and
oh
warm. And it was,
yeah,
yeah, that was a evening of smoking and drinking in the pub. Goodness me, we loved it. I mean, we smelt like dog shit, but
yep,
it was great back in the day. And then it
born
was
too late.
and I particularly, cigarettes were one of the most addictive things. I mean, I remember one time, I don't know if I've told the story before, this is when I was living in Edinburgh, having a sore throat and really, and smoking a cigarette and thinking, God, that was really painful. I really, really, really mustn't have another cigarette today. And then, like, 3 minutes later, crossing one of the bridges in Edinburgh, I was smoking a cigarette again, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." I have like actively seen that this wasn't, and I'm like, I'm so addicted to this bloody stuff.
Yep.
And but then so it was like several years of trying to give up, and every time I went to the pub, it was so difficult. If my friends around
Yeah.
me were smoking, not to get involved in that little game. And it actually took moving to Japan and away
Wow.
from all my friends and a complete change of scene before I finally kicked the habit. It was so hard. Yeah, little
That's
bloody
awesome.
bastard things. Yeah. Well, I
Japan.
mean,
How long were you in Japan for?
I was in Japan for 6 years, and
Wow.
yeah.
What'd you do? Just computer like programming stuff, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So I was over there originally on like a Toshiba fellowship, and yeah, it
No
was
way.
programming at the time. Agent. This is before agents were cool. This is yeah. I was doing autonomous agents software development, and then I did a bit of it was in a startup over there, and I was what else did I do? Yeah, did a bit of tech journalism and then research at the university there, 6 years in Japan. That was, yeah, I mean, that like, it was nice to get out there and see a different something or other. It's, have you ever been to Japan?
No, I wanted though. I want it.
Yeah,
Looks very cool.
it's really interesting. It's really interesting. And they've got comedy over there as well. There's like I do recommend if you're in Tokyo, go to the Tokyo Comedy Bar.
Yeah.
You can perform live comedy there. It's great. And actually, last time I was there, I was really for the first time performing to an all Japanese audience, doing comedy in Japanese, and that was pretty
Wow.
fun. Yeah,
That
yeah,
is awesome.
yeah, that was good. I'm looking forward to doing that again next year. Good stuff. Well, Oggy, it's been great to chat and catch up, but we are sort of running out of time. Is there anything else that you'd like to promote about what's coming up? Obviously we can get links to all this, that, and the other into the show notes. It'd be great to see your pilot when it
Yeah.
comes it becomes available. Yeah. Anything else you want to highlight about what you're working on these days?
Nothing. I have nothing to plug, nothing to promote.
No,
You
apart
know.
from this new comedy night in an unknown location that we've got to completely secret because you're getting free beer and you don't want the Taliban to find out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man. I got nothing going on really. Just gonna
It's all
make
right.
this. I'm when I get the show made, I'm gonna have little business cards, and I'll plug the sitcom at the end of my sets. I'm gonna give them QR codes like free sitcom, free
Yeah.
sitcom. You think this is funny? But check out the sitcom.
They're good stuff. Yeah, I keep on thinking because I'm thinking maybe I should start promoting the podcast or indeed my book
Ooh,
at the end of my comedy sets. But then, yeah, got to live in the moment. But yeah, so Rat Pack Comedy is going to be starting. That's your new thing. So we'll be directing people your way to the secret location. We'll have to like basically kidnap people, bag over the head in the truck, get them and deliver an audience ready for comedy. Because fear and comedy, they're so similar. Good stuff. All right. Well, let me, thank everyone for listening. And remember, you can all help us support the show by going to patreon.com/comedians on, where any level of support will help us continue to produce this show. And please do follow us on Facebook because that's where things are going on. We'll see you again soon. And a big thanks to Oggy. Thanks so much for coming on.
thank you, Sam. It's been good to catch up after all these years. Hopefully, our paths cross again in person soon.
Absolutely looking forward to it.